So once we have the full room dimensions, we can start tackling the little things that are going to come into play as you go into your process. So the first thing I like to figure out, and of course this is the demo kitchen, so yours is going to look quite a bit different. I would always figure out where my drain is located within the sink-based cabinet. And for a designer, what that allows us to do is center your sink. And once we've located your drain, again, we're just going to run the tape from the closest corner. And I'm just going for where the drain in the sink is right now for all intents and purposes, but we would mark that dimension down on the plan and lock that into place. I would also exercise the same procedure for the stove. Normally there's going to be an outlet and we would actually pull the stove out to see where it is. So the same idea, we're going to go from the closest wall, and I'll just roughly go to the center of the stove and mark that measurement just so that I have an idea how much play there is. If we do have ductwork that takes us outside of the home, it's always nice to know where that stove is centered so we can realistically keep, your range hood or whatever ventilation you're putting above in the same location. And we do want to measure the appliances. Stoves, dishwashers, and hoods are pretty consistent. Usually you're going to get around 29 and 5/8 to 30 inches. The hoods will be the same. Unless you have an apartment-sized dishwasher, the size should be 24. The only wild card as far as appliances go is going to be your fridge. When measuring the fridge, not only is the width important, but the height is a very critical measurement that you want to have your designer to have. And the reason being, if we're putting cabinetry above the fridge, we just want to make sure we're clearing the hinges or the top of the doors and that cabinet can actually function and open up. So that it's probably, again, the second most common measurement that a designer will ask for that's never really provided. So keep that one in mind. Following those tips should give you the general layout for your room and give a designer enough information to provide you the best possible service for your project. If you want to go above and beyond, the other thing you might take into consideration, if you haven't chosen them already, what types of appliances are you going to be using? If we have a regular, countertop microwave, at least know what type of appliance you're looking for. You might be going with one that's over the stove itself. You might be using a freestanding range with the controls at the back. You may be using a slide-in range with the controls at the front. These things do make a difference for your kitchen designer. As far as the fridge goes, being a French door top and bottom, not the most essential thing, but if there's a wall oven or a cooktop outside of a stove, these are things that would help your designer with your design and reduce the back and forth or editing or revisions. So with the range hood, there are units that are going to mount underneath your cabinets. There's also going to be units that don't require any cabinets above at all. For the stoves, there's going to be units like this that take up a space. There's wall ovens that are going to mount into other cabinets, and there's also cooktops that require a cabinet below to operate. So again, put a little thought into the appliances you may want to use in your design. Your designer will design the kitchen appropriately to accommodate all your appliances. So again, even if you haven't picked out the exact model, or maybe you can't get the exact measurement, you can at least have everything prepared for when you make those decisions. So following the tips laid out in this video, you should be able to provide any kitchen designer all the applicable information for them to do a great job with your design when you're ready to start your project. Always, again, keep in mind, it's just the wall dimensions, appliances, openings as far as windows and doors, and worst case scenario, your drain location for the sink. I want to thank you for taking the time to be with us today and go over the information. I'll see you in the stores when you're ready to start your project. In the meantime, stay safe and take care of yourselves and each other. Bye now.